Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Office Time with me. I'm Michele Ruiz. And if you're new to this Office Time chat that I have weekly, welcome. I am talking to you today about price presentation, certainly a very important topic right now. When we are in this economic crisis that's COVID related. A lot of businesses are certainly focused on how do they retain sales, keep sales going, to therefore keep their businesses going. And so I want to talk to you about a very important topic, price presentation. And in particular, I want to talk to you about how you consider it in this very challenging time. I know I've talked to a lot of different business owners, friends of mine, my peer groups, and so many business owners and entrepreneurs are struggling, are under tremendous stress right now. And so I want to share with you what I have learned over the years. I've now owned 3 different companies. My latest company is a technology company. And 2 of my companies are B2B businesses. We sell to large corporations, to the federal government, to state and local agencies, municipalities, and things like that. And actually what I'm going to share with you today is really no different than how you talk about pricing or price presentation than you would at other circumstances. But I'm going to mention some things that are particularly relevant in this time period. So the first thing is, you need to understand and prepare yourself for the fact that your customers and potential customers are also under a lot of stress, not just personally, but their corporations are, and their companies and their organizations are looking at how do they, 1, reduce costs, clearly that's happening. 2, how do they hold on to the capital they currently have? That's very important for a cash position. 3, how do they get the most value out of what they're buying and what they consider essential or what they need to buy? So you as a CEO and an owner of a business, when you're talking about price presentation, one of the key things you want to be focused on is value to that company, that corporation, that government agency, that municipality, that whatever type of organization or an enterprise that you're selling to. It is critically important now more than ever. So a couple of things to keep in mind, which I've learned over the years now being a serial entrepreneur. The first is you have to stay away from thinking that sales is about you. You have to stay focused on what is the value that you bring to the corporation. Secondly, you need to think about what is it that would make their investment worth it. They're considering if they, in this type of economic time period, a lot of companies and buyers and decision makers in enterprises are looking at their existing suppliers. Sometimes they're looking at potentially are there other suppliers that can provide the services or products that they're using for better value, because they're certainly under pressure to keep costs down or bring costs down. So you want to think about how you present value. What makes their investment worth talking to you about? And actually, when I talk about pricing, I always present it as an investment, because that really is what it is. And when I talk about investment, what I talk about is what is the benefit, the value, and the return on their investment that they're going to get. 3 different things. Benefits are what are the things that your company offers that makes what you offer a differentiator from other companies. Value is what are they going to get as a result of it? What are they going to see? And return on their investment is how do they make sure that their investment is as high value as possible? 3 different talking points. So when you talk to your potential clients, your customers, and things like that, you want to be focused on those things. The second thing is think about competitive pricing in terms of discounting. Very important right now. As I've talked to, I would say 6 of friends of mine over the last week or so who are entrepreneurs, everyone is under stress right now. They're seeing their sales potential or traction stop or drop. There, in some instances, some of my friends who are CEOs and entrepreneurs have told me that their clients are canceling contracts, or they're not even paying attention to the terms. They're just saying we're canceling, or we're initiating the early termination penalty. So in this kind of environment, you want to think about how can you offer what you offer at the most competitive price that you can. Think about how can you offer more in value than the cost of what you're providing. That's one key way. The second thing is if your contracts tend to be multiple year contracts, you want to think about whether or not you can offer your clients or potential clients a discount on upcoming years. In the scheme of the environment that we live in today, a discount for a following year when you can have cash in your company now is really important. So how does that work? That works in terms of when you have multi-year contracts, such as we do in one of my companies, we are now offering a significant discount for year 2 if the company is willing to pay for year 2 upfront. Now, normally you'd be sitting back and going, gosh, I don't know, that means a drop in my revenue or whatever the case is. But in this environment, you want to focus on having cash in hand so you can keep your operations going. You want to maintain the service, the level of service that you're offering your current customers. So it's all about keeping yourself afloat and going, and in what I call, we're in survival mode so that we can get back to thriving mode when things change. This situation is temporary. Every CEO, every entrepreneur needs to be focused on how do they not only cut costs, become more efficient in how they're operating, and then in addition to that, how do they continue the sales traction. So that's one way. That has worked in one of my companies where we've actually closed sales by offering a significant discount for year 2, and that has led to us continuing to close sales even in this economic environment. So the key things I want you to remember are talk about the investment, the value, and the benefits, the return on the investment your potential clients are going to get. Secondly, look at how you can provide more in value than in cost and pricing. That's really important because as buyers and decision makers are looking at their supply chain and the vendors that they're using, they're looking to see, is there someone else who can provide what we're buying at a better price or more efficient or some other thing that may cause them to be open to making a change. And by the way, that's actually one other tip I want to share with you. In a situation like this, it actually can be what I call an enabling condition. Sometimes in situations like this, there may be a company or corporation or a federal agency that has been accustomed to using a particular vendor. But because of the pricing pressure and the cost pressure right now, they can become open to looking at other potential suppliers and vendors. So don't think that just because there is a vendor in place that every single potential client or customer would not be willing to talk to you and engage with you, providing that you talk about value, the investment, and the benefits. 3 different things. So all of this is part of my Possibility Architect mentoring program. If you go to possibilityarchitect.com, you'll find out a lot more information there. As I've shared previously in my other weekly chats, I started Possibility Architect because over the years I've had many entrepreneurs, in particular women and minority entrepreneurs, ask me to mentor them. And I've been struggling about how can I take the time to do that when obviously I have multiple businesses that I'm running. And then I realized that I could do it by setting up my Possibility Architect mentoring program. So if you find what I'm sharing with you helpful, I encourage you to check it out. And I certainly hope that you join me next week. And by all means, please post questions in the comment section because I'll be using some of the upcoming sessions to answer questions. I wish you much health. I hope you stay strong. I hope you can stay optimistic and remember that this is a temporary situation. As bad as it may feel, it is a temporary situation and we will all get through it. Take good care.